You walk into a store for milk, and leave with a cart full of things you didn't even know you needed. Sound familiar? It happens to the best of us. But those impulse buys can really add up, derailing your savings goals and delaying your financial freedom. In this video, we're diving into the psychology behind impulse purchases and how to break the cycle for good. Let's get into it. So, what exactly are impulse purchases? We've all been there. You're standing in the checkout line and bam! A display of candy bars is screaming your name. Or maybe you're scrolling online late at night and suddenly you see that new gadget you didn't even know you needed. These are classic examples of impulse purchases. They're those unplanned, spur-of-the-moment buys that feel good in the moment but often leave you with buyer's remorse. Impulse purchases aren't always about material things. They can be anything from grabbing takeout instead of cooking a meal at home to signing up for that subscription box you swore you didn't need but couldn't resist. The common thread? They're driven by emotion, not logic. Retailers know how to push those buttons and turn our emotions into spending sprees. Ever notice how those tempting treats are strategically placed at eye level in the checkout aisle? Or how about those online flash sales that make you feel like you have to act fast before the deal disappears? It's all calculated. The average person spends over $5,000 a year on these impulse buys. That's money that could be working for you, growing in a high-yield savings account, invested in the stock market for potential growth, or even paying down debt faster, giving you financial freedom sooner. Alright, so we know impulse purchases are bad for our wallets, but why is it so hard to resist them? It all comes down to brain chemistry. Whenever we buy something, our brains release a neurotransmitter called dopamine. Dopamine is often called the feel-good chemical because it's associated with pleasure and reward. So when you make that impulse purchase, your brain gets a little hit of dopamine, making you feel happy and satisfied. Retailers are well aware of this dopamine-driven cycle and exploit it. They use all sorts of clever tactics to trigger those impulse buys. One of their favorite tricks is the limited time offer. You know the drill, sale ends tonight, or only a few left in stock. These phrases create a sense of urgency and scarcity. Our rational minds might know better, but that fear of missing out, FOMO, is a powerful motivator. Then there's the power of packaging. Bright colors, eye-catching designs, and buzzwords like new and improved are all crafted to grab our attention. And let's not forget about free shipping thresholds. Retailers use this tactic to encourage us to spend more than we originally planned. Let's be real, we've all been there. You buy something on a whim telling yourself, it's just $10, it's not a big deal. But is it really just $10? Those seemingly small purchases have a sneaky way of adding up over time, often without us even realizing it. A $5 latte every weekday adds up to over $1,300 a year. That's just one example. That's enough to buy a round-trip plane ticket to Europe. Imagine the experiences and memories you could create with that money. Or how about that $20 subscription box you rarely use? It might seem harmless, but it adds up. Over a year, that's $240 down the drain, money that could have been put to better use. Now imagine all the other little impulse buys you make throughout the year. The takeout meals, the online shopping sprees, the gadgets you swore you needed but now sit collecting dust. These items often lose their appeal quickly. It all adds up, and before you know it, you've spent thousands of dollars on things that haven't really added any value to your life. That's money that could have been working hard for you, earning interest in a high-yield savings account, growing in the stock market, or helping you reach your financial goals faster. Imagine the financial freedom you could achieve. Instead, it's slipping through your fingers, spent on things that you probably won't even remember a few months from now. To really grasp the impact of impulse buying, let's look at it from a long-term perspective. The effects are more significant than they seem. Imagine you spend an extra $5,000 a year on impulse purchases. It might not seem like much at first. Now imagine if you were to invest that money instead, earning an average annual return of 7%. The potential is enormous. Over 10 years, that $5,000 a year would grow to over $70,000. That's a substantial amount. That's the power of compound interest. It's like planting a seed and watching it grow into a tree. But if you continue down the path of impulse buying, you're essentially flushing that potential wealth down the drain. Think about the long-term impact. Let's get real. Breaking the cycle of impulse buying isn't about depriving yourself or living like a minimalist monk. It's about finding a balance that allows you to enjoy life while being financially responsible. It's about being mindful of your spending, understanding your triggers, and making intentional choices with your money. By doing so, you can create a healthier relationship with your finances. So let's dive into some practical strategies you can start using today to curb those impulse buys and keep more money in your pocket. Strategies that are simple yet effective. 1. Plan your purchases. Always shop with a list. This helps you stay focused and avoid unnecessary purchases. Write down exactly what you need before you even step foot in the store or click on a website. This simple step can save you from a lot of regret later. And here's the key: stick to your list like glue. It's your roadmap to smart shopping. If it's not on there, don't buy it. This rule can be tough but incredibly rewarding. 2. Pause before you buy. This is my personal favorite, and it's called the 24-hour rule. It's a game changer for impulse control. If you see something you want to buy, force yourself to wait at least 24 hours before making the purchase. This delay can help you make more rational decisions. This gives you time to cool off, think it through, and decide if you really need it. Often, the urge to buy fades away. You might be surprised how many times you end up completely forgetting about it or realizing you don't actually want it that badly. This can save you a lot of money over time. 3. Set financial goals. Give your money a purpose. When you have a clear vision, it's easier to stay on track. When you have clear financial goals in mind, it's a lot easier to resist those tempting impulse buys. Goals give you something to strive for. Think of it this way: every time you're tempted to spend money on something you don't need, ask yourself, would I rather have this item right now, or would I rather be one step closer to achieving my financial goals? This mindset shift can be powerful. 4. Unsubscribe from temptations. Those marketing emails and targeted ads can be brutal. They're designed to make you spend. So, do yourself a favor and unsubscribe from tempting email lists and unfollow social media accounts that trigger your impulse buying. This reduces the constant barrage of temptations. Out of sight, out of mind, right? This simple step can make a big difference. 5. Use cash, not cards. There's something about physically handing over cash that makes spending feel more real than swiping a credit card. It's a tangible way to see your money leaving your hands. Try using the envelope system. Allocate a certain amount of cash for different spending categories each month, like groceries, entertainment, and shopping. This method helps you stay within your budget. Once the cash is gone, that's it for the month. This forces you to prioritize your spending. This will help you become more mindful of your spending and avoid overspending. It's a practical way to keep your finances in check. By implementing these strategies and developing mindful spending habits, you can break free from the cycle of impulse buying. It's all about making small, consistent changes. Start making your money work harder for you. You'll be amazed at the difference it can make in your financial well-being. Look, I'm not saying you have to live like a monk and never buy yourself anything nice. It's all about finding that balance between enjoying your money today and setting yourself up for a secure financial future. The satisfaction of achieving your financial goals far outweighs the fleeting thrill of any impulse purchase. Financial freedom is a marathon, not a sprint. By making conscious choices with your money, you can break free from the cycle of impulse buying. So, there you have it, impulse buying. It's that silent killer of your savings goals, but the good news is it's totally beatable. Once you understand your triggers and start implementing those strategies we talked about, you'll be amazed at how much more money you can hold on to. And hey, that extra cash, that's your ticket to financial freedom. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more personal finance tips and tricks. And don't forget to share this video with a friend who might need to hear this message. Let's all work towards building a brighter financial future together. Thanks for watching.